but
Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter. Oh. If you wish to address the council, it is. Please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. All cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the Community Development and Planning Committee to order. We'll have invocation by myself and Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all blessings bestowed upon us, for our people, our waters, and the strength that runs through our community. Guide our leaders with wisdom, our families with love, and our workers with safety. Help us to work on standing united, to care for one another, and to make decisions that honor you and protect this place we call home. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Miss Alicia, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Trusclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Hardy, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin.
Here.
Madam Chairwoman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you. So I'd like to read the letter from Councilman Amade. Please accept my apologies for not being in attendance at tonight's committee meeting. I have reviewed the agenda and have made my concerns known. Apologize for any inconvenience my absence may cause. Thank you. First order of business, motion to rescind the condemnation order adopted on February 27, 2023 on the residential structure located at 1414 Keats Street, Houma, Louisiana, owned by Michael J. Ormond Sr. Moved by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Pledger. Vote your machines. Motion passed 7-0. Motion to amend the condemnation order originally adopted on July 29, 2025 on the residential and accessory structures located at 228 Dixie Avenue, Houma, Louisiana, owned by Monica Lorena Cano Solano, by changing the deadline to complete demolition and or removal of the structures from August 29, 2025 to January 27, 2026. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Pledger. Seeing the lights, vote your machines. Motion passes. Resolution establishing the Terrebonne Parish Council 2026 meeting dates. Moved by Mr. Trosclair. Seconded by Mr. Harding. Mr. Babin.
yeah, I didn't know the dates. I know in years past, Tammy, I guess this question is towards you. I know in years past we've had conflicts. Again, this is a council meeting, but we've had conflicts with the Chamber of Commerce banquet, which a lot of us like to attend, and some police jury association. Do these dates take that into consideration? Do you?
It's in the backup if you look at the backup.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Seeing no more lights, vote your machine. Oh, hold up 1 second. Mr. Trosclair.
Yes, thank you. Tammy, on the condemnation meetings, they're not listed on here, right?
Condemnation?
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, look down at the bottom. Yellow, in yellow.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, so we're only doing one every quarter now, or? Okay, because, you know, this, for the last few months, half of this year, we've been doing two condemnations a quarter, and we had actually only voted to do one as a council.
I sent that to planning and, they never got back with us, that's our normal.
Right. Okay, so I'm opposed to having two a quarter. If we, you know, unless we vote as a council to do it. So that's all I got, thanks.
Mr. Champagne.
So to go along the lines of what Steve's saying, can we combine those South Central planning and condemnation hearing, at the same day?
I did.
So one thing, to be clear right now, we don't know if we have the agreement with South Central Planning. We're waiting for that program income money to come in for us to be able to do it. I think once that contract is put back into place, the council can make the decisions on the meeting dates. So right now, it's just our staff, like the regular staff working through the condemnation process.
But Candace, to what Mr. Champagne said, can we combine what is from?
That would-
If you had South Central Planning.
That would be a decision that the council would make and with planning and
Okay.
zoning.
All right, no.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, the whole idea with South Central is to be able to get them accustomed to how we do things and kind of incorporate into our methods. So if we did decide, or if y'all decide y'all want to do that, I don't think it would be a problem if you want to increase the amount.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Harding.
Yeah, I'm along with, I think, Mr. Champagne is agreeing with Mr. Trusclair. And that's the reason why, last couple council, condemnation hearings, we didn't actually, have, South Central Planning, involved in that. Because the funds. So if we can actually, by this time, because they were actually hired to actually, take care of the backlog. Now, I guess we have to go to planning and zoning and see how far they are behind in these condemnations. But then, we also, have the opportunity to agree to it or set the standard, just to have them quarterly. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Trosclair.
Yes, just for a little backup on this. 10 years ago, when I got on the council, the condemnations were actually held on committee nights. And then they got to be so many that the meetings were lasting long. So we voted as a council to have a separate special meeting night to have the condemnations on. So that's how we got, since I'm on the council, that's how we got to the special meeting nights on Tuesday nights. But the second meeting was never voted on by this council, it was just thrown up on us. So, as a council, if we vote on it, we vote on it, but I think we need to at least have that courtesy to vote and decide how we're gonna have these meetings. Thank you.
Mr. Babin.
Yeah, just, it's a catch-22. We're trying to get rid of dilapidated houses and structures in the parish. And then, on the other hand, we said we really don't want to have them. It all boils down to the money. If it's a possibility, if we can put them on the same night, that's fine. If we do have to have extra ones, if we just don't put them in the same month, it would even be better. So in any event, it's up in the air, but we can't do both. We can't condemn houses and then not have meetings. So however it works out.
Mr. Trosclair.
I disagree. We can condemn housing. We don't have to have meetings every week. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no more lights, vote your machines. Resolution passes. Number 4, authorizing the parish president to enter into the appropriate agreement with GIS Engineering LLC for engineering services related to the design of the North Treatment Plant Safe Room. Moved by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no lights, vote your machine. Resolution passes. Authorizing the parish president to enter into the appropriate agreement with GoTech Inc. for the peer review of the engineering design plans for the North Treatment Plant Safe Room. Moved by Mr. Babin. Second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, vote your machine. Resolution passes. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to dedicate the Hancock Whitney Bank Building in honor of the late Don Schwab by renaming the building the Don Schwab Center for Business and Government, and amend certain sections of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinance to reflect the new name, and call a public hearing on Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no lights, vote your machines. Passes. Motion to adjourn by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Pledger. Vote your machines. And that passes. We are adjourned.
Sounds good.
You want me to push this back?
Yeah, who's this for?
I don't know. That was there.
Trash. Carl.
I'm sure. That's not my water though. That's right here.
We're sharing it, right? We're gonna put it in the middle. Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individual or staff-related matters. All cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the Terrebonne Parish Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order. We'll have an invocation by Mr. Danny Babin, pledge allegiance by myself.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and guidance as we are gathered here to address matters at hand. We ask that you clearly show us how to conduct our work. Help us to work together and encourage us to challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be, keeping the good of Terrebonne Parish in mind. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Babin. Miss Alicia, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Trusclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Hardy, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thanks, Miss Alicia. Two honorable council members, Honorable John Amady, Councilman District 4. Please accept my apologies for not being in attendance at tonight's committee meeting. I have reviewed the agenda and I have made my concerns known. I apologize for any inconvenience and that my absence may cause. Thank you, Mr. John Amady. Item number 1, resolution declaring as surplus computer equipment and supplies, commercial kitchen equipment, office equipment and supplies, firefighting equipment, and other miscellaneous items from various departments and divisions. Move, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Second, Mr. Kevin Charles Sampan. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 2, award parish project number 23-SEW-01, replacement of the wastewater treatment plant NTP primary pumps, a part of the NTP UV disinfection project, and authorizing the parish president and/or his designee to execute a contract and provide for related matters. Move, Mr. Danny Babin. Second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 3, award and authorizing the signing of a construction contract to the firm of BET Construction Incorporated for parish project number 24-BLDG-22 Whitney Bank Build-Out, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana, and authorizing the issuance of the notice to proceed to commence construction of said project. Move, Mr. Danny Babin, second, Mr. Carl Harding. Seeing no lights, members, vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 4, authorizing the execution of a change order number 1 for the construction agreement for parish project number 24-BLDG-22 Whitney Bank Build-Out, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Move, Mr. Danny Babin, second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Mr. Steve Trosclair.
Yeah, this may be a crazy question, but
Right.
I mean, we just now authorizing the signing of a construction contract, and then we also, the next line, we changed the order. Can somebody explain that?
Now, Ms. Candace, before you go there, and go ahead, just go ahead. I'll come in after that?
Yes, sir. So when we went out for bid, they came in a little bit higher than what was budgeted. So through the value engineering that we did with them, we reduced that change order for it to get within the budget. So that's why they're both being done right now.
Okay, thanks.
And my question in the backup, Mr. Babin, is one bid came in at, I think it was 149 or one point, let me see. It was 1.4, I think it was. And what you're talking about was they came in and reduced that cost by 49,000, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if they were at 1.4 and it was 1.5 was budgeted, what, that makes sense?
I do understand the question, but I don't know that I have that information. Noah, do you?
Mr. Lerat.
So if I'm not mistaken, Candace, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that the budget amount we have for this particular remodel, as well as just for general remodeling at Whitney Bank, is $1.5 million. So there are other things that we need to do with that building besides just remodel the second floor. So when we first started working with the architect on this, it was estimated that this would come in way higher than 1.5. So we started looking at ways we can cut back, given the fact that we know we have other things we need to do. So that's why we did that, right? Because the 1.5 is not just for this particular project, but for Whitney Bank as a whole, and that's all we have currently. So just trying to save where we can.
Okay, so we saved an additional 49,000, right? Based on the revisit to do that. But BET Construction, they're still gonna be charging 1.3, 1,385,355, right? And I just wanna make sure that I understand. Cause it's like, a few $100,000.
Let me.
In the backup.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was everything was reduced to that 1.385.
That's including the savings of the 49.
I got it. I'm looking at it right now on the whatever page this is, and
Oh, yep.
it reduces it by 49, so it goes from 1.385 to 1.335.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
And that's what I was trying to see what,
The 3s and the 8s. Couldn't read them
Right,
tonight.
all right, we're good. Okay, seeing no further lights, members vote your machine. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 5, authorizing parish president or his designee to enter into a data sharing agreement with Louisiana Department of Insurance through the Louisiana Fortified Homes Program. Mr. Danny Babin. Second, Mr. Kevin Charles Champagne. I'm sorry. Ms. Kim Chauvin.
Okay, so in gathering this information or sharing this information, what exact information are we sharing? Because when I knew about the
I'm sorry.
fortified,
You're late, I'm sorry.
from what I've understood about the fortified, it had to do where we were supposed to be saving like a tremendous amount of insurance, and it wound up that we weren't. So what exactly are we sharing?
State your name and address for the record. Green light is yours.
All right, thank you. Jennifer Gerbasi, 603 Walker Drive, home, Louisiana. And Chris asked me to come here because I do the RAMP program. And the data sharing is actually kind of one way. They have people who have tried to go through their lottery or tried to get the fortified program who have not gone through it, either because they didn't have enough money or they didn't qualify. And we have an opportunity possibly to do our own wind retrofit project through FEMA. So they're giving us the people who did not go through their program so that we might be able to serve them. So all the information is coming our way.
So it's just the data from those people who went in for the lottery that you're getting
Right.
those names and such and that.
Right. So then we know who is interested in getting a roof instead of just trying to,
Okay.
catch as catch can, find those people.
No, that makes more sense. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Seeing no further lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 6, consider the introduction of an ordinance to authorize TPCG to acquire immovable property identified as lots 1B, 2B, 3A1, and 3A2 Block 2 of Southdown Industrial Park subdivision, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana, and to authorize the parish president or his official designee, the chief administrative officer, to execute any and all documents necessary to acquire said property and to provide for other matters relative thereto, and call for a public hearing on November 19th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Ms. Kim Chauvin.
I had a question. So this, we're locating them in, we're buying more property to locate them. Why wouldn't we put them in the Hancock Bank? Okay,
So this is currently where Housing and Human Services
Mhm.
is located on 311. When we purchased Hancock Whitney, that was one of the first departments that we went to and asked if it was feasible for them. And it is not feasible for them with the amount of clients that they have coming in and out every day, as well as we are going to, as part of a CDBG DR project, to expand for that resilience center that's going to allow for them to have their commodities and all in one place.
got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Ms. Candace, can I entertain a motion second? Motion, Mr. Danny Babin, second, Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. No, you're good. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 7, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, 5% budget adjustment for the Parish Prisoners Fund, $653,213. Item number 2, 5% budget adjustment for roads and bridges, minus $15,000. Item number 3, 5% budget adjustment for road lighting district number 1, $5,616. Item number 4, 5% budget adjustment for the road lighting district number 5, minus $9,785. Item number 5, 5% budget adjustment for road lighting district number 6, minus $353. Item number 6, 5% budget adjustment for road lighting district number 7, $7,356. Item number 7, 5% budget adjustment for road lighting district number 9, minus $17,624. Item number 8, 5% budget adjustment for health unit fund, minus $36,704. I'll entertain a motion in a second. Moved by Mr. Danny Babin, second by Ms. Kim Chauvin. Got a couple lights, Mr. Steve Trosclair.
Yes, Ken, a quick question, and, going down, everything exactly 5%, but, it can't be Rhode Island District 1 and District 5, District 6, ended up with the same exact amount that we needed to.
No,
adjust
sir.
the budget.
So the title is just a 5% budget adjustment because that is what we are required by state law to be within
On every-
5% favorable, unfavorable. We can't be more than 5%. So that's just the title of it. We're just saying we're making this adjustment because the unfavorable variance was greater than 5% if we don't do this.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss Candace. Can you break that down like I'm a 12-year-old? Cause I don't get that.
So every fund that we have within the general ledger or within our budgets, we have to, by state law, be within 5% if it's an unfavorable variance. So if we've collected less revenue than we had budgeted for, it would be an unfavorable variance. If that is greater than 5%, we have to do these budget adjustments in order to be in compliance with state law. So by doing that, we can either decrease our expenditures within the budget to match that. So that way we reduce the revenues and the expenses and the net effect would be zero, or we adjust to the fund balance.
Okay. Mr. Champagne, I'm sorry.
So I was just gonna say, just to clarify, so the numbers on the right gets you to the 5% for all the different.
It's the net effect of the adjustments. Yes, sir.
Ms. Kim Chauvin?
I do have a question. When you're looking at like Road District 7, so you're adjusting to that fund balance? to say that the 7,000?
So I'm adjusting, you'd have to look at all of the actual revenues and expenditures, so I'm adjusting to match closer to what we are projecting the end of the year to be,
Okay.
whether that's collections or expenses.
Okay, all right, that makes,
Good, Ms. Chauvin, you sure? All right. Mr. Hardy?
Yes, Ms. Candace, could you explain the negative portion of that in reference to the 5%?
So it depends here if we're talking about revenues or expenses, or if the net effect is even to zero, whether it's an actual increase or a decrease to the account, because in the accounting world, debits and credits are opposite of what everybody's real math does. So it gets a little confusing there. So it just, you'd have to look to see in the backup, it'll tell you if it's an increase or a decrease.
Good, Mr. Hardy?
Well, yeah, I asked the question, which is very, very general, and then because of the questions that are being asked, you know what I mean, I'm looking at $17,624, which is actually the budget adjustment number 7. But we also, and number 3 is 5% adjusted for the road lighting district. Number 1 is 5,616. So one would be to the good, and one would be to the negative. If it was income to you, one would be negative to you and one would be positive to you. So I'm assuming that 7 would be a positive to us or a negative to us as a whole.
That would be a negative.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. So one more on that, on item number 1, the 5% for the parish prisoner fund. Could you tell us why that number is so big, the 653,213?
Yes, sir, because we have not gotten all of the revenue that we had worked with the sheriff's office to get. We're continuing to work with them to try to get it. And their expenses have increased significantly for their janitorial supplies, their inmate supplies, as well as, we all know, some of the repairs. So we have to increase our general fund transfer because we cannot have a 5% unfavorable variance, and we can't have a deficit fund balance.
So when we say the repairs, that's for the,
This is just general repairs. This isn't the emergency repairs that we had declared for the chillers and the kitchen equipment.
okay. Now, did we ever, I know that ordinance that we did for that, it was I think it was 500,000, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to come out of the emergency fund. And also within that ordinance, it stated something along the lines of that would be replenished to the emergency fund to put that monies back there. Have we?
We have not done that yet because we haven't fully finished the repairs to know
Repairs.
what the total amount is.
Okay, all right, easy enough, thank you. We're good? All right, so, thanks, Ms. Candace. Can, members vote your machines, I'm sorry. Votes 8-0, the motion passes. Item number 8, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget for the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, flood mitigation assistance, $162,567, and call a public hearing on said matter on November 19, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Move Mr. Danny Babin, second Ms. Kim Chauvin, seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Vote 7-0, motion passes. I'm sorry. Oh, we're good. Okay, item number 9, to review the proposed 2026 budget for the following funds, departments, agencies. I'll get Ms. Candace to expeditiously turn her light on so we can turn it over to her. Ms. Candace?
Thank you, sir. So tonight we continue our budget hearings. Again, we're reviewing everything. If at any point there is a change that the council would like to see in the budget, they would make a motion to amend what we are proposing. Anything that's amended would have to have a revenue or take it from somewhere else to cover that expense. And we would vote on it, and that would get added into that final budget ordinance that we will adopt the first December Wednesday night meeting. So we'll go ahead and get started. Our first one for tonight is
Excuse me,
our,
Ms. Candace. Mr. Harding?
Making that statement.
Yes,
And
sir.
are you making us aware that the changes, perhaps the changes, if there are some changes to be made, they should be made now? Do we have an opportunity somewhere down the line before this process ends to actually implement some changes that we may want to have?
So those motions and those votes need to happen at the budget hearings. So tonight or the next one, but the next
you.
one is
Thank
our
you.
last one. So
Right.
remember that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure. You know, I mean, this is not the final chance at this if we had
Correct.
something. Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harding, Ms. Candace?
So our non-district recreation here, so this is unrelated to the recreation department, the quality of life. And then this is where we have some of the parks that we maintain. So here is the total revenues and transfers and expenditures. So then going into the actual departments within the non-district recreation, you have the auditorium. So this includes the municipal and the Dumas.
Mr. Harding?
I see we have grass cutting, $157,500, a decrease of $7,500, 4.55%.
That's on the next department. Can we wait till we get to that slide?
Okay then, all right.
Now is our parks and grounds. So this is our total expenditures for all of the parks that Terrebonne Parish government is responsible for. All right, Mr. Harding, what was the question?
Okay, we have grass cutting and they have a decrease in there.
Yes, sir.
We're actually looking at the air base. I know we have adult softball complex that has been added. And the other parks that we had. What's the total number of parks that we have?
12, 13? 13. Lucky 13. We need to either add or take one
Lucky
away.
13? Okay, because we had actually made an increase because we had acquired some other parks, right?
Yes, sir. So what we're doing here is instead of going through our contractor, our vegetation department is going to be able to take over some of the maintenance of those parks, so the cost will be less.
So would that also be in association with the other contracts that we had? We just recently had something to do with vegetation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And also remember, a lot of those parks, Noah just reminded me, a lot of those parks that we took over, we were cutting anyway. So it didn't increase the actual grass cutting by taking over those parks.
Yeah, your biggest problem probably would be adult softball complex then, right?
We cut that one too.
Yeah, but then that's going to be an increase because you never had it before. So you
We
actually
were cutting it before.
really?
We were, for like 11.
Okay then. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Harding.
Next is the Air Base Splash Park. Next, we have our quality of life, athletics and leisure. So this is your proposed revenue with the ad valorem millage that is collected, our expenditures and our transfers and our fund balance. So the different departments in here, first one is the athletics and leisure administration.
Mr. Harding?
Yes, ma'am. A 40.56% increase.
Where are you seeing 40.50?
Non-district recreation,
Oh, yes, sir.
$152,100
Yes, sir.
increase.
That is some repairs to some of the parks, some of their playground equipment from the parks that we've taken over.
Okay, and the other one is 203.76%.
The total of the transfers out. That's
Okay.
the sum of all of them.
Okay then. $764,100. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harding. Ms. Candace?
So our administration for our athletics and leisure department. We have our various sports throughout the department. We have some quality of life programs, so they aren't your typical baseball, basketball, all of those sports. And then you also have our Special Olympics.
Sorry, Ms. King.
I see a decrease of like 35,000. What are you planning on?
So we
cutting?
had, yes, ma'am. So we had put in there back at the beginning of 2024 and 2025 some additional funding for some different programs that didn't kind of come to fruition. We couldn't get some agreements and we couldn't do all of that. So we're just taking it out of the budget to match those historical expenditures. If there is a new program that they would like to put into place, we will come up with a budget and present it to the council as an amendment. Some of that too, they had some sports officials fees in there, and those programs would never need sports officials because they're not your typical
Okay.
sporting events.
All right. So, and then I'm seeing various sports, a decrease of 10,000.
That's a decrease in our insurance policies for those various sports.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Kim. Ms. Candace?
Okay, summer camps, we have the total $195,000 for our summer camps, which is the same as 2025. So that includes the summer camps through CEAs with the rec districts and the esports. And we also have our tennis courts.
Mr. Harding?
Where does esports operate out of?
That is through the library and a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Nicholls State University.
Okay, 45,000 now. Thank you.
Ms. Candace?
Next is our Bayou Country Sports Park. So this shows you all of our revenues, the transfers, expenditures, transfers out, as well as the fund balance.
Mr. Harding?
Yeah. Sponsorships, $100,000 and a decrease of $100,000. And concessions out there for the Bayou Country Sports Park. You said concessions $100,000. Then you have a decrease of $50,000. Question being of concern of the concessions. Last year I did the math a little bit and I'm trying to see where we are making money. I'm trying to do something. I want everything to happen with Terrebonne Parish. But this is the area we're looking at a decrease of $50,000. So are we able to sustain ourselves with that? Or do we have to have a decrease of $50,000 for us to actually have it operating?
So this is actual revenue coming in that we're showing here as the decrease because we are not collecting quite as much. Are we sustainable? We still have to do some transfers in order for the fund to be in the positive. But I do know that we will have the new parts open and the new parking and some of the new lights up and soccer fields in 2026. None of that is accounted for here in this budget because we don't know when that's going to be and what it's going to entail. So the hope is with that, we'll be able to actually have some more sponsorships come in for those new parks and help us to be able to be sustainable for this fund.
Well, and all of this is actually according to that 1/3, right? Recreation tax.
This is not the recreation tax. No,
It's
sir.
not?
No, sir. Some of that does come in as a transfer. But this is funded through the hotel motel tax for the most part and sponsorships and revenues. But we do transfer, we do supplement from the parish-wide recreation millage. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Harding, Ms. Candace?
Next is our utilities department. We have all of our revenues, expenses, transfers out. Our electric generation department.
I have a question there, Ms. Candace. I would say is it a fair statement to say that our utilities department is probably our biggest revenue department here at the parish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, without a doubt. Got it. Now, go ahead.
It
I'm sorry.
also is one of the very few departments within the governmental entity that can actually earn a profit too. So you got to remember that it is actually built to be able to earn a profit, whereas all of our other departments, except for sanitation and the other proprietary funds, can't earn a profit.
Gotcha. I mean, they do a heck of a job, I feel, out there. Also, I have here what I'm looking at. We had some salary adjustments or cuts within the department. When I say that, I know it's electrical distribution, gas distribution, but we have one in particular, which is a grade 211, right? And it's a pretty big increase there. No issues there because of the work that those folks do, but at the same time, with that amount that's here, it appears to be about 81. The proposed adopted amount was 66,000 for 25. We're proposing 75,000 for 2026, about an $8,000 increase. Now, would that cause an upgrade as far as grade to a grade, a promotion, I guess you would say?
No, sir. If it isn't in there, if it's within that range of that grade, so it's not requiring a promotion.
Okay, so that's not a
There.
title change or anything like that. Okay.
Not right now, no, sir.
All right, easy enough. That was my question there.
Electric distribution.
So on the distribution side, Miss Candace, that department seems like it's pretty small, I guess. And you have 4 positions there, and we have about roughly $5,100 in reduced salaries there. And I'm to assume that the superintendent, it was adopted for $75,000 there, but it's proposed to have a cut of right at $5,000. Is that because we hired somebody else and, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir. So whenever we hire a new person, it'll come in at that lower range of that pay scale.
gotcha.
So there's obviously somebody that moved, left, got promoted,
Okay,
and all of that.
all right, thank you.
Next is our gas distribution. And then the administration of the utilities department.
And I guess that's where I should ask the question, because that's where I'm seeing it now, but we're good.
All right, next is our pollution control. For the sewage collection department, here are your expenses.
Just to go back to that pollution control, basically the same question there. We have an increase of about 15 grand, proposed from last year, adopted from last year versus proposed this year. Same question there. Would it be it's still within the range, I guess you would say?
Yes, sir. The sewage treatment department. I had a double slide. This is the pollution control administration. And then these are all the sewage capital additions that are being added.
I'm sorry, Ms. Kim.
When you're talking about adding, you're talking about like the sewage lines adding or stations adding on that, or where do you go at for the capital, I guess the capital additions to fix lines? I mean, I'm not seeing any of that in any of this.
So there are some repair accounts that are in their regular operating and maintenance part of the fund. There's also some capital additions from years past that we have money sitting in for bigger repairs like that we carry over until that funding is used up and we come back and ask for more.
So you have repair monies?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim, Ms. Candace.
Next is our sanitation fund.
Steve Trusclair?
Okay, I'm not sure this is why I need to bring this up or not, but, I brought this up last, budget hearings and last year, and, pretty much went anywhere, didn't go anywhere, but we have a recycle program. Is that part of your presentation anywhere down the line, Candace?
No, sir. We can talk about it now.
Okay. That costing us a ton of money, and we really have no guarantee and no way of proving that anything's actually being recycled. And also, I think the parish president, maybe Noah and Clay, I'm not sure, had a visit with River Birch some point early in the year where River Birch actually showed them that recycling may not be the best way to protect renewable energy, because they have in their system, they recapture the natural gases that it forms when this stuff is actually decomposing and reselling the energy. So just for numbers, last year, direct cost to the parish was $195,760 to recycle, to operate the recycle program. That's direct cost. It's if you translate that tonnage into to general waste, you're probably looking at $40,000 to $50,000. This year to date, we've already direct cost spent $194,320. That's up to now. So we'll probably be close to 200,000 by the time the year is over. So I asked last year that we discontinue this program, because that's, roughly $200,000 that we can put back into our general fund and use it, if nothing else, give our employees an employee raise, nothing else. I mean, this is, I'm all about, saving our planet. I don't have any issues with that. But if putting it in the ground and we can turn it into natural gas or some type of renewable gas energy, I think it's a wash at that point. So I'm not sure if I need to make this motion tonight.
So
Or
before we go to that motion, let me explain one thing for you there. So the savings cannot go back to general fund because the revenue is coming from a restricted revenue source of the ad valorem tax that is specific for the sanitation as well as the collection fees. It can go back into the sanitation fund and can be used for that department, but it cannot go back into general fund.
And I'm good with that. We can buy more tractors and cut more grass.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
So
you.
if we want that to be a change, you need to make that motion for us to end the recycling program and add the funding to grass cutting or to vegetation. And if we can get the motion and the second and the vote, that can happen.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we discontinue the recycle program in our next budget and just let the money stay in the Senate, in the sanitation funds. And, if we need tractors, we can buy tractors. If we need bush hogs, we can buy bush hogs. Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor by Mr. Steve Trosclair to eliminate the recycle program and usage of funds are to go back to the sanitation department to buy necessary equipment, grass cutting, so on and so forth. Second by Mr. Clyde Hamner. I got a couple lights here. Mr. Carl Harding?
Yes, Ms. Candace. In your statements you made, does it go directly to sanitation and sanitation actually use it wisely? Is it in the motion, and that's what I want to make sure, if we make a motion like that, could we just make it general and to go to sanitation and let him apply as he do? Because if the motion says visitation, it would actually have to go to that particular portion of the sanitation department, right? Anything specific, Steve?
My motion would actually have to let it stay in sanitation.
Stay in sanitation.
As needed, in example, as
So what would happen there is we would remove it from 2026's budget. It would all get closed out to fund balance. And as Clay determines the needs for some funding, we would come back with a budget amendment in order to use it.
I think it would be the same thing. If with Mr., the motion that's on the floor, it'd be the same thing, Mr. Harding.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because you made a statement, because we were talking about going into vegetation. And then he does more than that, whether it's going to be employees or whatever. So as he see fit in that particular department.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mr. Harding. Mr. Champagne, I got your number.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to verify that, was there ever any, I know what Mr. Trosclair had said, did we ever verify that there was, the recycle is really not being recycled appropriately? Do we know that for a fact? I don't know if Clay wants to just speak for that.
Go ahead, Noah. if you want.
I'm okay with this. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a couple things and pass off to Clay. So me and Clay we're talking about it this afternoon. We've been doing this program for, I think, 16 years, Clay. But at one point, it was a wash. It didn't cost us this much, and that's not unique to us. That's the same story we've been hearing from other parishes, and a lot of parishes have made that decision to go ahead and cancel it on the basis of cost savings. But at one point, it was not so much of a expense for the parish, and I think Clay has verified that we are getting various degrees of recycling material that's not being accepted. I think to the tune of, I guess, anywhere between 25 to 80%.
Mr. Trosclair?
Kevin, I just want to clarify. I didn't mean to insinuate that they wasn't doing it. I was just saying that we have never gotten any certification and proof that it was being done. I wasn't insinuating it wasn't being done. I want to get that clear. Thank
I
you.
just wanted to make sure you had asked for it, and I don't ever remember them coming back saying it was verified, that's all. So,
Good. Clay, go ahead.
Clay Narcan, Solid Waste Director. We get a ticket from Pelican that has been dropped off at the Republic Recycling Foundation in Baton Rouge. Once it's dropped off there, we have no idea what it does.
so they can do whatever they want with it.
Right. The Republic has a bunch of landfills. I'm not saying that's what happens with it, but it goes to Recycling Foundation. One pizza box in there, they can declare the whole load contaminated and throw it all away. One unwashed detergent bottle, not clean, anything they find in there, they can, it's not acceptable and the whole load is contaminated and it's done. So when we say we're not, I can tell you that whatever's on the list, the 255 tons this year, went to Republic in Baton Rouge. Once it got there, where it went, we don't know.
And we still paid for it?
Yes, it's $160 a ton just to tip it there, where at River Birch, it's $30 a ton to bring the same thing. That's why when Mr. Trosclair brought up the price of about $765 a ton, that's including transportation and the tipping fee. When we go to River Birch with our regular garbage, it's about $52 a ton for everything. So whatever I bring to River Birch is about $52 a ton when you put the transportation cost and all that in there. So that's where the big cost. Now, just to touch on the thing that Mr. Trosclair said about the renewable energy. River Birch, myself and Mr. Bergeron took a tour. They have spent multi-million dollars, and they've showed us where they're capturing all the gas. They are showed us where they're getting tax breaks as far as California in the pipelines of the stuff they shipping out in renewable energy. And the myth is that the landfill is about full. They have 100 years left on the landfill in Avondale.
Okay. Now, do we have, based on this contract or this agreement that we have with them, do we, Mr. Babin, can you help me out on that ink pen? Thank you, sir. Do we have any sort of, where they provide canister or dumpsters or something like that? You know, do we put them in the certain bins and things like
We-
that we have to return, or
No,
will we be on the
we
hook for
bought
anything
those
like that?
bins last year trying to reduce the cost. If you remember when we came to y'all the first time, the price was outrageous. So we went back out and we bought the bins ourselves. And now that we own the bins, the only thing that we have is a contract with Pelican for what they transport. It doesn't say they have quantity. It's just whatever we give them to transport. So if we don't give them nothing, we don't cost us anything.
Easy enough. Thank you, Mr. Harding.
Yeah, and I recall being in the same spot, Steve, last year. And so if we actually make this particular contract null and void, and then are we actually going to save money because Pelican actually transport this, right?
Pelicans, we're gonna save money on the Pelican. It's gonna add a few dollars to our transportation for regular garbage, but I have enough funds in there to cover anything, or if I get toward the end of next year and we see we running low, then we'll come back with a budget amendment for the money that we save now to add to that, but I don't think I'll have that issue.
Yeah, because I thought I was trying to get this part. You mentioned 700 something per load, right? And then you're looking at $52 a ton if Pelican transported straight to the.
Yeah, that's Bonvolant, WB Company transports that. This is just a separate contract, and it also has our large refuge, which is our containers at our residential sites. So the whole contract wouldn't be in void. They still have work on that contract. Just the recycling part would be eliminated.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if we get rid of the contract, we still would also be saving money on the back end because we're paying extra costs
Yes, sir.
to go that way too. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harding. Ms. Kim?
So you said the bins were costly. Is that something that you can look to get rid of? Or do you have a reuse for it?
We're gonna reuse it, and we bow to at festivals, stuff like that.
Not
We
a problem.
can.
Just asking. I'm good. I'm good.
Thanks. Well, Mr. Clayton Rosen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to be clear, I know a lot of people know or maybe have a belief that when you participate in these type of programs, there's some type of subsidies or dollars you receive for participating. That's not the case in this matter, right?
When we first started back in, 15 years ago when I started, we was just getting into the recycled bins. China was buying the products and we was getting a little bit money. And then that all ended. And then it just started increasing. And with the fuel and the cost of equipment and everything, that's where we at today is just, that's where we at today.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so there's no loss of any subsidies or anything like that by getting rid of this.
No, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rosen. I guess that's it, Mr. Rosen. Apologize, Clayton. No, I can't. All right. Yeah. Ms. Candace, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Let's get you out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. We
Oh,
need to
we do
vote
on
on
that
the motion
motion.
that's on the motion and second that's on the floor. Please, members, vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. All right.
Okay, our solid waste services, so, this part of these expenses here will be changing because of what we just voted on. This is the disposal and the transportation, but you'll see where it was originally. And then our vegetation department.
Ms. Kim?
Go back to the mosquito abatement. Can you tell me how much we collect?
I cannot tell you right off the top of my head, but I definitely can find out for
But we
you.
collect a lot more than we pay, correct? Am I correct on that? Do we collect a lot more than we pay?
I would not, I would
Can we
not know
find that out? Can I get that information,
Yep.
or maybe you can share it amongst all of us so that
I'll
we
send it
can
to
know?
everybody
Thank
once
you
we get
so
it.
much.
Okay, so this is the vegetation department. And moving on to our Civic Center Fund. Moving on, yes, sir.
Let Stephen go first. Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Harding, you had something?
She was going into the Civic Center. Steve, you have a question in reference to the vegetation or what?
No, simply right.
Okay then. Yeah. Again, we have a increase of 92,000 concession supplies. So 92,000, increase of $92,100. All right. So we had that was zero, or was it 100?
I don't know. Let me pull that up. That doesn't look right.
Uh-oh.
Give me 1 second. Okay. So it's a bunch of different numbers that we have to add up, and I can't add them up in my head, but it was not the same. It was not zero. So I'll get you the real increase
Okay.
tomorrow.
Thanks, Mr. Harding. Mr. Trosclair?
Yes, a couple quick things. First thing is, how do we manage a decrease of $36,000 on insurance when everything else is going up?
So when we negotiated our property insurance for 2025, we reevaluated a lot of our properties. And properties that had new roofs and new repairs because of Hurricane Ida, some of those values we were able to adjust and have a decrease for them.
So we didn't decrease the value of the property, the insured value, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then the last item, building equipment repairs, we looked like we budgeted $18,000 for equipment repairs, a decrease of 32,000. And I know for a fact that we got a whole set of bleachers that are inoperable at this time, and why are we cutting that out instead of trying to move on with finishing the repairs at the Civic Center?
So the one set of the bleachers is being repaired. A whole new set is being put in. I know that there is another side. That we don't have enough funding to be able to do that in this fund. We're going to have to find some other funding for this. This is a fund that general fund supplements a good bit, and we are trying to be as mindful as we can be in our general fund transfers and our supplements because we had that discussion the first night of budget hearings. So we adjusted where we could, and we are trying to find some grants. We're trying to find some other tourism grant funding that'll allow us to do the repairs that are needed.
Okay, but if we keep nickel and dime in the civic center of every little bit, I know we took $60,000 from their fund for the escalator removal, and here's another 32,000 that we taking in. If we keep nickel and dime, they'll never have enough money.
Yes, sir.
maintain it.
That 60,000 had been sitting there for several years and had never been used. That is another reason we are trying to increase the fees and stuff for the Civic Center to try to help build up some funds to be able to do the repairs that are needed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Trusclair. Mr. Hamner.
Yeah, I'm looking at the decrease of 116,000 salary reimbursement. Can you explain what the salary reimbursement is, and is it literal or is it cut in personnel?
So
Or
it
services?
was, no, it's an actual reimbursement. We were using some of the same employees in the Civic Center for some of the Bayou Country Sports Park concessions and stuff. So that reimbursement was, the Bayou Country Sports Park was paying for the time for those people. We have some new services in place, some new employees in place where that reimbursement's not needed quite as much between the two funds.
So we're gonna have more services at Bayou Country Sports Park that would reduce the reimbursable salary?
Yes. So it will not be relying on the personnel services from the Civic Center, from the personnel from the Civic Center.
Okay. So there's no actual pay cuts anywhere?
No, sir,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Mr. Learette.
I was going to say that we did get that one side that was inoperable replaced. That just happened to those bleachers. So we do have two sets of working bleachers. Now one's still old and will need to be replaced, but the one that was in bad shape, we replaced that, Dean, what? How long ago now? 3 weeks ago. So we got one side replaced, and they're both working.
Both sides are working.
They're both working.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. Both sides are working. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
We just got it fixed.
Okay, thank you. I guess, anybody else got a light?
Yeah, Kevin has one.
Okay, well, I'll come back out.
The yield?
Oh, you sure? Okay. On the salary reimbursements, okay, so if I understood Candace right, what this is we have basically one employee that works in several different departments and we share the cost of his salary.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that split evenly across all the departments, or is maybe one department paying more than another department?
So these particular employees, it was just between the Civic Center and Bayou Country Sports Park, and it was based on their actual time.
Okay, so the director's salary.
So that's a completely different salary reimbursement. That's part of our allocations. And those are based on percentages of how much time directors are spending with each department.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trusclair. Mr. Champagne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I, knowing that both bleachers are not working, that was gonna be my question. If one bleacher wasn't working, is that why we're having a decrease in proposed revenues? So in other words, if we're not using the Civic Center to its full extent because we do have, bleachers are not working and that limits the event. So that was my question. So I guess that's not probably why there's a decrease in proposed revenues. But the other thing is that, and the other night we saw that there was a potential to do some of the public commissioners grants.
Yes,
I would
sir.
say change all the lights in there because I'm sure that's a lot more costly the way we're doing it now if we have LEDs in there. So it's just a suggestion to maybe do that in that building. So anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Champagne. Ms. Candace.
Okay. Next is our risk management. So this is where we have our risk management employees as well as where we pay out our self-insured plans. So this is the actual department for risk management. And this is the actual insurance premiums that are paid out of the risk management fund.
Couple questions there, Candace, in the risk management department. This is in the pretty books, page 244, if anybody wants to follow along. I'm noticing that, and just to get a little bit of clarity, understanding that the risk management department, among others, human resources, purchasing, IT, centralized fleet, and all those departments are internal service funds, correct? So with that being said, I'm noticing that the based on the short-term disability claims projected or um, actual for 2024 was 90, went up to 95 and estimated in 2025 of 95, and it's projected that we're going to be at 100. The long-term disability claims went from actual 18 in 2024 to 20 estimated in 2025, projected is 25 for 2026. Now, the number of workman's comp claims processed, actual was 63 in 2024, which obviously a good job was being done. With that, because we had a decrease that's estimated in 2025 of 57. Likewise, for projected in 2026, we're going to be holding fast at 57, projected presumably, I guess. Number of general liability claims processed, we're at 69 actual for compared to 2024 versus estimated in 2025 of being 55. And there again, we're on the downside of projections for 2026. Now, with all that being said, that I would account or attribute safety and training and making sure our employees are being safe. So if we go down a little bit further, we have the number of safety classes, right? And the actual safety classes that we had in 2024 was 6, and in 2025 estimated was 8. Now,
That has to be a
projected,
typo. It should be probably
please
9.
tell me it is.
I'm thinking it has to be 9, but I'm gonna follow up. I don't know if Crystal has it in front of her, but I will definitely follow up. I don't think we can do 190 safety classes.
Hey, because listen, when I saw that, I'm saying, wait,
Yes,
this
sir.
can't be right.
Yeah, no, we're gonna follow up on that and
All right.
we'll let
Easy
you know.
enough, because I know a 2,200% increase is out of the question. So with that being said, that was noted or noticed that, we're trending in the right direction, and that should be recognized. So,
I try to get all those typos and y'all catch me every single year.
right. No, we're good there. So with that being said, I don't have any questions there.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
So moving on, this is our group insurance control fund.
What book was that? 479. I do have a question there too, Ms. Candace.
Yes, sir.
All right, so with the group insurance control fund, I see that we adopted 14,659,680 for 2025. Actual year to date, it's 136,392. Estimated remaining of the year, it's 12,237,000. That's a kind of a big difference for the previous 9 months, I would assume. Yeah, 9 months. And we're going to have a big jump in towards the end of the year. Is that because we're going to be making payments, or?
Can you tell me what we're looking at?
I'm sorry, page 479 in the big book.
479?
Yes. Yeah, right.
Okay,
For
so this
charges
is
for services, is that
this
insurance
is
or?
for the risk management department. So this isn't group insurance. I was on group insurance. Okay, now ask me the question again.
Okay, if you look at that charges for service in that first line item there, for operating revenues,
Yes, sir.
we have, we adopted 14 million and we've only used, year to date, 136,000, and the estimated remaining of the year, we're looking to spend 12 million. So is there nothing that happens in the first 9 months, or how does that work?
So when this was ran, nothing had been done. We hadn't actually billed the separate departments. I don't know why that happened that way, but it has been corrected. So we will have the full amount billed before we close the end of the year.
Okay.
So that projection estimated, projection actual year end is what we are projecting to end with after
And
we
that-
make all the adjustments.
And that's once the, okay, all right, easy enough, thanks. I'm sorry, Mr. Harding.
I think I'm following right. So at the end of the day, could you give that number? What is,
$12,374,381.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Ms. Harding. Ms. Candace?
Okay, so group insurance control fund. Next would be our human resources fund. Next would be our purchasing fund. Development, IT, and marketing.
Mr. Champagne?
So I was looking at we made two big changes in personnel. You eliminated two higher grade positions for, I guess, lower good positions. And then, but I see there's a very small decrease in benefit, it looks like, so I was just questioning.
So
Since
it
it was
was-
so high level and there was a little benefit.
There was also, because of the changes within here, the eliminating the higher level and adding the lower level, those that are that in-between level are taking on additional job duties, and they did get an increase in their pay based on what was done with those duties.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that group insurance, I went back and forth on that one. That's a big increase, and it's because there was actual changes in coverage within the employees that are currently there. So some went from
Is that
single
a big
to,
department?
no, it just, some went from single to family coverage,
Gotcha.
and it increased it a good bit.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thanks, Mr. Champagne. Mr. Harding, you're good?
I'm waiting on, information
All right.
That's where we are, sir. Hmm?
I'm looking at, let me find my place. Funding derived from revenue from the department's user fee.
Yes, sir.
All right. Could you explain that for me?
Yes, sir. So this IT department, as well as the purchasing and fleet maintenance and human resource, is what we refer to as an internal service fund. This is departments that provide services to other departments within parish government. So there is a fee for the services that they provide. Sometimes it is a direct cost and it's a rate. Sometimes it's based on the amount of time that it takes the employee to actually perform the work. There's a whole work order system that we use in order to report that. So that's the only way that this fund can actually receive revenue and cover itself.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm asking that, because we're asking departments to cut costs. And that was the lemon when I had one department had the capacity to take care of something else for someone else. And it's all Terrebonne Parish consolidated government. But the rates was outrageous. Say, for instance, if Michelle doesn't say too much in these budget hearings, you have one set fee for our attorneys, right? But then, say, for instance, we have someone that need a legal service that have to go through our legal department, I can't see the expense being just as expensive as someone getting their own lawyer. That's what I'm trying to say. If we are working amongst ourselves, then we're trying to do something. I'm just trying to figure out, is it a flat fee? Is it a discount to
So
it?
it's not a flat fee, but the whole purpose in the world of government and these internal service funds is it is cheaper for us to be able to provide the services to our departments instead of us going out and doing contracts, and you might have 10 different contracts and 10 different contractors. So that is the whole purpose of having this internal service fund, is we need to provide those services to other governmental departments, as well as actually employing some of the parish citizens in these departments.
Right. I just wanted, I mean, they're making revenue, and I'm looking at the budget. Everything costs. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trustclair?
Yes, thank you. I know this administration has restructured most all the departments. But, from the previous administration, we went from like roughly around 5 employees in the IT department to, I think, around 19.
We have not increased that much, no, sir, in IT. It was always, I can pull it from a historical, but it was always a good bit. And
I can
Robbie may
explain.
actually have that answer.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, so we actually have less IT employees now than when I originally started here. We are down to 4 now. When I came in, we had 6. But because IT as a whole was an internal service revenue department, the drone pilots, we have 2 drone pilots who fly out of levees and all, and a lot of drainage canals for Dave and all's group. They're technically under IT, but they're not IT. It's not what you would consider information technology employees. We also have a graphic designer who's under IT, all of development, which is Angie and her team, which is 6 people. Which y'all technically are down 1 now because I moved Megan. They handle like the AS400 system and all. They're development, but they're still under IT. So that's another 6 people. So like the large whole of the department is technically under information technology, but they're broken up between development, IT, and marketing. But IT is considered the internal service revenue fund. So technically you only have 4 IT employees. You have our manager, which we had 6 when I came in. 2 retired. I didn't replace either of them. I took on some responsibilities, as well as the number 2, Brian. Brian took on some responsibilities. And then Quinn took on some responsibilities. And then now we only have 2 techs, which next year we're looking to get a lower grade tech. So instead of hiring somebody at 70,000 or 90,000 or 96 is where Ben was at, which is why you see a decrease in his area. Because he had been here 32 years, I believe. So his rate was much higher than most people because he had a huge, what's the word? Seniority pay. He had a much larger seniority pay than anybody else in my department. So it does look like we have 19 people under information technology. We really only have 4 who would do what is classified as information technology work. Everyone else kind of does a little different.
Makes sense.
Yeah, good. It's good. Okay.
And I just want to clarify, Mr. Trustclair, so I'm looking at 2023's budget and 2024's budget, and we had 20 people budgeted within this development in IT and marketing as employees. So it's always been that number. It's just split up how Robbie had just explained
We also
it.
changed we changed some titles this year. A lot of those were content writers. We changed a bunch of their titles this year. But like, for instance, some of those women that work in marketing, they helped Earl write some of his procedures, I believe. They helped Chief Henry write his entire book. That was like their big project that they've worked on like the last probably 2 months with him. Was they helped him not only write the entire thing, but help him look up actual rules and laws and regulations other fire departments had put in place and helped them bring all that together. That's what that department does. Is whenever a department has something, like they do a lot of work with Ms. Jennifer Jabasi, whenever she has something she does in some kind of grant, they go gather that information because it is a lot for like one person to do. Like Ms. Jennifer, there's only 2 people who do that type of grant stuff. That department does all of that. We've also done a ton of presentations for you guys. I think we've done one for Mr. Carl. We've done one for Mr. Clyde, if I'm not mistaken. We've done one for Miss Kim. I think we've done one for Mr. Brian. They do stuff like that also. So like if any of you guys ever go in Martin or anything, you need a presentation, you give us a call, we do it for you. And just different stuff like that.
Mr. Hamner?
Yeah, and Mr. Lee, the person that did all that writing, for those, what position did they fill?
For what writing?
With the examples you just used for,
Oh, so that was the content writers. I don't remember.
technical writers?
Yeah, the technical writers. I don't remember the off the top of my head the position.
That's what you're
titles they gave them.
eliminating.
Yes. We had one. So I had two retire on me. One right when I got here, which Jed, great guy.
Yeah.
He was done. He wanted to retire. He wanted to go home. Ben just retired because he reached his max. So then he actually ended up retiring and then going to work for MGO. And then Tori Louvier, who's a technical writer, actually got a position at St. Charles Parish, starting out making $70,000 a year. Like we couldn't
Good for him.
compete. We couldn't compete with that.
All right, but you're eliminating the one technical writer, grade 206, eliminating one information technology manager. You're adding an administrative coordinator. You're adding a network technician.
Correct.
So you're keeping your 4 people under different job titles.
Correct.
What's the net overall savings on that then? Yeah.
So in
Or did we put it all back into additional
no, there was
salary?
a
We didn't return. Jed's got returned completely.
in actual
And I'm not-
salaries there was a savings, but in total the personnel services there is an increase because of that change in the group insurance.
And then there's also something in here, like we don't have it yet because it's not finished till next year. But our development team, I believe the quote was right around 96,000 for the new software we are building in-house for sales tax, which will end up saving sales tax a ton of money in the long run because now they won't have to go to back to that company. So when that company would charge $250 an hour, we only charge our going rate for our developers. So sales tax will actually end up saving a ton of money in the new software they're going to be moving to, which will make it easier for everyone. In the long haul, we also just finished our drone pilots, just wrapping up a project for TITA. So that's technically revenue in from a different source that'll come in, which would be about 106 between both projects. We also do work for the jail right now, I'm working with Sheriff Saunier and the jail. We're doing the cameras for them. It's going to save them a ton of money. The parish will recoup some funds because they can hire us to do it at a cheaper rate. So we do try to work with other agencies through all of Terrebonne Parish to try to offset some of this small amount of an increase we will have this year.
So, with all that said, the removal of, let's say, the IT manager and the technical writer, that you lose some of your senior leadership that has taken care of all that for you in the past.
I actually had
potentially needing to hire, put those positions back into the future budget.
So Brian Rodrigue Brian's been here for 25 years working under the IT manager. He was the network manager. He has been here almost as long as Ben.
Right.
In the same department. They know tick and tack everything. Quinn's last name Petrie is under Brian, who's already been here about 3 to 4 years now. He's learned everything from Brian because technically in 5 years, when Brian reaches his max, it's a good possibility. As much as I don't want him to leave, they retire here. Everybody knows once you reach your 30, you leave. So what we're doing is we're actually hiring lower positions and training through and raising up guys on the small, like on the bottom end, and then working them up through the years to get them trained to Brian's level. Like Brian had 25 years to train under Ben. Fortunately, Quinn doesn't have 25 years. Quinn has another 5, which will put him at 8 or 9 by the time Brian would look at retiring if he decides to, when he reaches his 30. So that's been the kind of mindset we've put everybody in, is make sure the person below you can do your job. So that when something happens, if you do retire, you move on, somebody below you knows what you're doing, so that they can pick up the torch if you ultimately do decide to leave.
Good. All right. So my concern was that.
Yeah, I'm trying to take care of the long term.
Sustainability of the department.
Yeah, we trying to. That's a big thing we've been working on. We just started out in development, working with them, is just kind of trying to set the department up for the long term. Because like I tell them all the time, I'm an appointed position. It's a huge possibility a new parish president comes in 4 8 years, and I'm out the door. And
Steve said you wouldn't let that happen.
and unfortunately, I take the knowledge I have with me, right, wherever I go. As much as I would like to finish my career here, I understand that is a real possibility when you take a position like this. So which is why we've kind of changed the mindset of trying to learn whoever's above you, you learn their job. Whoever's below you, you teach them your job, so they can know. So if something ever happens to you, because unknown things can happen, right? You can get sick and be out for an extended amount of time. And what we do is, it's not a dangerous line of work as a firefighter or police department, but it is a very crucial, line of work for what we do. Because I mean, if we've seen just in Terrebonne Parish, we've seen 2 breaches. One at the child support office. Their entire department got shut down, where they had to bring in new computers. It cost them around, I think it was like $1.2 million to fix everything. Luckily, they had a backup, but they had to wipe a ton of their software and a ton of their equipment there, and that happened last year. So, it's not, IT's kind of the department you don't hear about it until you need us.
All right, if I can make one more quick comment, and then I'll yield. So, final question: with a proposed ending net position of $100,000, do we have a contingency fund in there?
Yes.
That
So the way that these internal service fund work, and you'll see actually all of them except for risk management and group insurance have that ending net position of 100,000. Because we always want to make sure that we're charging the other departments what we need to cover the cost, and we don't build up a profit. It can't earn a profit.
okay.
Mr. Hardy?
That's my
You
point.
done, Mr. Hamner?
Oh yeah.
All right, Mr. Hardy.
That's my point. That's where I'm glad you said that. And I want to commend my colleagues for actually being so thorough. And I think once you made your explanation of how we were designed or how we set up, it was not a bad question. It wasn't it was a question of inquiry, so we can have a better understanding about government. We sit here, so therefore we should know, and we would like to know what's going on and where it's going.
Yeah.
So I hope no one got offended
No.
about that.
If y'all-
we
if
just
y'all-
want to
If y'all have
clarify
any,
that.
If you have any other questions, everyone has my cell phone number.
Right.
Don't hesitate to call me. I'll gladly talk your ear off about IT.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll talk about the
and maybe
debits
you
and
can
credits
get one
all
of
day
those
long, too.
190 classes that we got coming up. Yeah, okay.
I have a question, Mr. Lee. I mean,
Yeah, go
maybe you
ahead.
might want to stay there for a sec. I'm looking at the total. I can only go on what's in front of us in the pretty book, I guess we would call it, when it comes to the allocated positions for the IT department, right? Now, we have, I get it, I see what we're doing here, but we're talking to a tune of, what I'm looking at, it's not about 97 grand increase, right? Throughout the department, various positions. And we have one that's really, it stands out, and I'm sure no one else must have caught this, but we have a,
Yeah, I have no problem talking about that one.
right, yeah,
So I gave that individual went from having 2 direct reports to 8 to 10, somewhere in that line, just to help me on a day-to-day basis manage development and the big projects they have, because it's a heavy lift. along with everything inside what we call marketing now, which is all they now help me with the summary, which you've noticed has probably gotten a little more detailed in the last 2 or 3 times. They've been helping me out with that, getting more details on that for you guys. And then all the projects development is handling, as well as the drone pilots. So that individual did take a hefty leap, but they also took a hefty leap in responsibility, like a drastic leap. I would say probably of that department, they took on 80% of the responsibility that was moved. They took on about 80% of it. And I felt they deserved that jump. And I understand it is a drastic jump, and I wish everybody in the parish could get a drastic jump like that. I think it's deserved across the entire parish, not just on this side, on that side also. I did some finagling. I lost some employees, gave everybody in my department, Angie can attest to it, I gave everybody in my department a decision. Each individual subsidy had their own little pot of money I gave them. I said, you could rehire, you can get raises. If it was perfect, what would you want to do? And that's what those 2 departments came back to me with. I agreed with it, especially depending on the amount of work those individuals took on, and I moved forward with it. And I stand by it. I understand how it looks on paper. I get it. But anybody who's dealt with my department knows we go above and beyond, and we do whatever we can for whoever we can and whenever we can.
Okay, I get it. But most importantly, you made a good point. We're talking about leadership here, right? So we're talking about an individual that you felt I'm not sure of their responsibility previously as far as direct reports.
Correct.
But it sounds like they didn't have any before.
Correct.
But I would assume that with being a new leader, getting direct reports, we don't go from here, the range, it went from min to max. Well, once I become a leader and I get 5 or 6 direct reports as a new leader, you gave them no room for growth, because now the numbers I'm looking at, they're beyond the max of their grade. So that's kind of,
They should be right at it, I believe.
well, it's a few dollars more, but I'm looking at
Well, then
min
that
and
also
max, and
that's also included with seniority pay because they've been here for some time.
I get it. So that means that individual should go to a different grade if I don't know if that's the process of how it works, but if with seniority calculated into their salary and it puts them beyond the max side of what the salary is saying, that it should be the max range, well, that would account or justify going to a different pay grade, I would
Did we
say.
not
But at
So I could have
the,
swore we regraded
We
it.
didn't regrade this one. Couple of things.
Yep.
Gotta get my brain right. When we look at the pay range, we don't take into account the seniority pay. We look at the base pay. So they could be above because their base pay is what we look at. When we looked at all of these, I think we had said that we would see how this works out, if they can hire the 2 new employees that they're trying to add, how it works out, does that change the thing? And we would reevaluate those pay grades for those individuals that are right at that max. Because you're right, once you're at that max, you have nowhere to go. So we've got to figure out a way to bump you up. There's a whole process that we go through with the HR department where we fill out a form that discusses what their roles and responsibilities and duties are, and it will actually be what will grade that position based on what's been added.
okay.
It just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I get it, but at the same time, just make sure that we understand if we're training new leaders. I mean, I get it, but you have to give them room to grow. We're just
I understand.
we
Look,
we
I
just
still
jump
have
'em up
a.
like that, and
I
it's
think any person in my department will attest to. I still got a heavy hand on the wheel, and I'm very involved in everything we do through my entire department day to day. Angie probably wants to kill me most days. Actually, she's probably telling me I'm not involved enough. But we do some big projects, and it is a heavy lift for myself. I am only one person, so I did move some people fast. Because I needed the help, but also again looking into the future. What happens in 4 years? What happens in 6 years? What happens in 8 years? What happens when everyone up there is termed out? What happens if multiple of us retire? Like, how long does Candace have left until she retires? How long does my IT manager have left? 5 years. I took so much stuff into account before I pulled the trigger my wife at one point was like, you just have to do it. Because I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning being like, does this work? Does this work? Not for now. I know it's going to work now. What happens in 4 years from now? What happens in 12 years from now? What happens in 18 years from now? Because that's the problem. That's the problem. That's always been the problem in government and through my entire career is it's not what the problem is now. It's what the problem's going to be in 2 years or 4 years from now. And when I did that and I made those changes there, that's what I looked at. I knew I had at least 2 years to 3 years to train up this individual and get this department moving in the way I thought it should be moving. So if something does happen to me in 2 to 3, I felt confident my hand can be nowhere near the wheel, not even here, and they're gonna keep trucking down the path they're going.
Okay.
Which I understand. I completely understand your. I don't want to call it criticism, but I'll take constructive criticism. I think it's that, and I think it's coming from a good place, and I completely understand it, and I appreciate it. But I feel like I've done this for an amount of time, and I've made good decisions, and I feel like that was one, and I'm gonna stand by it.
Okay, and I get it totally. Just one last thing, you make very, very valid points in regards to, preparing your department for, the future. But we have 900 other guys and girls out there, right? And that's our overall aspect of looking at it, because when the cost of living goes up in 4 to 5 years, well, they're going to be that much further behind. So last point I want to ask Candace, and you can share it with the council, it doesn't have to be today, but could you give us an idea of what it'll cost for a 2% raise across the board for all employees?
Yes,
And
sir.
send that to us,
I'll
please.
send that to you by
Right.
the end of the week.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harding,
You said 2%, I'm sorry.
2% across the board, yeah. Mr. Harding?
Yeah, and I admire your passion in taking care of your people. But if a person makes $130,000 in 4 years, hypothetically speaking, and they lived it for 4 years, that's $520,000. Whether I'm parish president or Steve parish president, but a guy that's making $25,000 a year, 4 years, he can only make 100.
So I will, if you go look at that, because I'm glad you actually brought that up. Of the individuals I gave raises to, I understand one is pretty substantial. But of the 7 I believe I gave out, if you look at 3 of the individuals I gave raises to, all made under $39,000 a year. 3 of them. And I raised each and every single one of them to 45. 2 of those individuals know where every drainage canal is in this parish. I don't know how many people else can say that. And look, and I understand.
No,
And-
excuse me. That's not my point. And your point was almost political, saying that you're not here. They got some people that's locked in here that have to go 30 years, 32 years at $25,000 a year. Or
Which is why I brought multiple people up from $37,000 a year to over 45.
Right. And
Multiple people.
which
Why I
makes-
brought multiple people up from 43 to 50. It's not political. Trust me, I looked at these numbers a million times and talked to a lot of people in my staff about this before I pulled the trigger. I understood. I had one individual who's worked at this parish for over 20 years and was still making $37,000 a year. Moved to IT to get a raise about 4 years ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Lee. I used the term political. All right. I also use the term hypothetically speaking, whether it's 4 years or 8 years. We're trying to get to the point where Mr. Pleasure had asked Ms. Candace to see how much it would cost for across the board people to have a 2% increase. And in your defense of what you're doing for your people, there are other people that need and want to do for their people. So what we are trying to do here is to be fair. Because just like the 20 people that we were talking about in your department, that's quote unquote not in your department, is only 4. We're looking at the dollar amount. So whether you can talk as much as you do, but we're trying to actually run this government where all the employees, because if the employees find out, I don't know what the figure is, and I don't know who it is, there's a substantial increase in their salary, then those are the same people that might have to turn the lights on and do this and do that. So it actually creates apathy for the rest of the people that's working for the parish. I know one department in particular that they would enjoy that much of a raise.
I respect that.
Yeah, so it's not that we're trying to do anything. We're trying to be fair to everyone that's here. That's all it is.
Yeah, I respect that.
Right. So we're being responsible. And I think that's how all this got started. The other thing about that, if there is a ceiling to a particular level, Miss Candace, and I think no one should exceed that ceiling. And that's the ceiling, that's the ceiling.
That's
Things
the
will
ceiling
not-
for their base pay, yes, sir.
Right. So, man, I don't know. Again, I didn't too particular look at it, but I gathered some information. I think once you hit that ceiling, it should have been automatic cut off at this amount of money.
They are not automatically cut off if there is a COLA given or their seniority pay. Their base pay is cut off at that maximum amount. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Harding, thank you. Mr. Champagne.
All right, two quick things. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first is the person that got that substantial, how long have they been working for the parish?
Oh, I would say a little over 4 years. I remember off the top of my head.
4 years?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's
'Cause you
also
had said, I thought you
yeah.
had said that that person had been here for a substantial amount of time.
Brian's the one who's been here, but the person I moved up had been, 4
Just
years.
a short period.
I can't recall off the top of my head how long it was. But that's also the individual who you will see whenever there's a power outage is updating the residents at 2 a.m. Like
No, I
that's
was just,
yeah.
I was just a quick question. And so then, the other thing is, so when, Mr. Pledger asked for the 2%, is that 2% for everyone who didn't get anything? We're not including the ones who already got it, right? And I just want to clarify.
Well, let me be clear on exactly what I was asking and what I was meaning. That's 2% across the board, not even including none of the raises that have taken place or being proposed to take place.
Okay.
So
just a
it would be
2%
just
raise.
2% based on the pay rates right now.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
None of the
That makes it a little
additional
easier.
raises or
Sure.
anything like that. Let me make sure that's clear. So
All right.
make, that's probably a little easier for you there.
Yes, sir.
But I'll share this with you. You
Okay.
can just look at this
Okay.
and you'll see what. Thanks. Ms. Chauvin.
Robbie, just a question about evaluations. Do you do evaluations in your department, and how frequently do you do them? And kind of give me the process of what you do to determine these things.
Oh, we do our normal one-on-ones that the entire parish does now, which I've been doing evaluations for some time now. But I look at overall tasks, their task list for the entire day, month, year, bi-weekly, weekly, stuff like that. Then I look at direct reports. I look at how many things they manage. For instance, the individual that keeps getting brought up manages all of our social media and all of the messages that go in to that social media, as well as the entire ticketing system for what we call marketing and managing out all of those tickets, as well as does the marquee for the Civic Center now and some of their marketing and their social media, as well as the Quality of Life Facebook page. They manage about 8 or 9 Facebook pages, but then that's just for that individual. But we do that across the board. The development just did theirs about 2 weeks ago, and they got another one coming up in January. So I'd say about every 3-ish months or so. But at the same time, I'm in my department so much that really everyone gets evaluated every day. I know what everyone's doing and everyone's working on every day. And I can see exactly who's succeeding, who needs help, who's struggling. Like
But
it's
you
an
have
everyday
documented.
thing.
It's documented
Yes.
to that degree. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Mr. Voisin? Mr. Voisin? Thanks, Ms. Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just so I'm clear, this is one of those departments that, if I understood, self-sustaining 100%?
Yes, sir. Based on the revenues that they have from other department user fees within parish government and outside of parish government. So he mentioned that there's some direct revenues from sales and use tax, TITA, and a couple other governmental entities that aren't under the umbrella of Terrebonne Parish.
Okay, so they don't receive any funding like
They don't
the
receive.
council office receives?
They do not. So they receive user fees. So all of the departments pay a user fee for IT development and marketing. So there are some allocations that you see.
No, I understand.
But there's no transfers in from general fund, there's no transfers in from any other fund, there's no sales tax, there's no millage. It's all based on those user fees.
So they are
Yes, sir.
self-sustaining
Yes, sir.
department. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are the guidelines as far as how y'all charge each department for whatever service y'all provide?
Oh, that's an intricate system. I would love for you to come sit down and see it one day. We have a ticket system that tracks every minute anyone in information technology does anything. Every minute. I know who it's going to. We have categories broken out. So if a ticket comes in at 9 a.m. and at 9:01 it gets submitted to Angie and Angie takes it, she knows it's for the AS400 system for payroll, or the AS400 system for the sheriff's department, or the AS400 system for waterworks, because we do work for waterworks also, which is another thing that we get so much funding every quarter. It's 16,000 every quarter, about 16,000 we get from waterworks for the work we do for them, because they run off our AS400 system. A lot of people don't know that their entire billing software is actually built on the back of those 6 people in development. So they manage all of waterworks' billing software. So we have a very, very intricate, detailed system that tracks every minute, so that at the end of the year, at the end of the month, when we do billing, which again Angie does billing, then she sends it to me and we review it together, and then we hand it off to Candace, and then Candace is going to say we did so many hours of our 100% allotted time. 3% is going to go to utilities, 7% is going to go to public works, 9% is going to go to whatever departments that ever go. It's broken down very, very convoluted almost. It's a lot. But we know to the millisecond where every minute is going to be charged for every employee in IT.
So just for simplicity, like if it was an hourly rate for the work you do, just for simplicity, when was the last time, let's say if it was that simple, that those hourly rates were adjusted?
So I don't know the last time. We were actually just having this conversation that we haven't updated the hourly rates for waterworks for some time, but everyone else has gotten an updated hourly rate, because the hourly rate, mistake me if I'm wrong, guys, we don't charge like more than what
No.
we pay for. So
No.
like
You
if
understand the question, right? Like when was the last
It's been a long time.
it's been a long
it was
time. It's
updated?
been a long time. It's been a very, very,
Since
very
you've
long
been
time.
here, was it updated?
2008? 2008 was the last time? No. We're working on it now. Like that was one of the things we've been tackling this year, but we've also rolled out like a new time and attendance software. And this is stuff I need development to help me with, to look at hours, because they're more in the system than anyone else. But we've rolled out a new time and attendance software. That software, for us to go buy it, would have probably been, after setup and then the monthly fee, $800,000-$900,000. Setup fee would have been $200,000-$300,000 a year after that, just to keep it rolling. They did it in a year, and the whole department as a whole doesn't get paid that much. So we've done that. We've done all of Team TPCG, where everybody get their W-9s. Development built all of that. So they do a lot of work like that, but it is time and that is something we are looking at right now.
Okay, I was just curious
Yeah.
in reference to that, as far as, I was fairly certain after listening to Ms. Candace that y'all were a self-sustaining department,
Yeah.
that y'all don't take any funds in like the other typical departments do,
No.
like the council, for example, or public works, or
Correct.
anything like that, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Voisin. Any more questions? Mr. Trustclair, you had a light on? I bet you did. Bet you did. 52 years reasons why, right? I know,
Did you-
52 years. All
Did you
right,
see me eyeing you over there, Mr. Trustclair? Last
all
but
right,
not least
go ahead.
is our last internal service fund department. So this is our fleet maintenance. This helps with our fleet and our vehicles and all of those fun things. And that is it.
I have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Steve Trosclair and a second, a unanimous second. But I just would like to say, Ms. Deborah Trosclair, 52 years, congratulations, and we're praying for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Members, vote your